Good morning Happy สงกรานต์สุขสันต์วันสงกรานต์นะคะ Good morning everybody how are you For those who are joining me this morning I would like to see you give me some chats, some highs. Let people know that I'm here. Please share the video, maybe do a watch party and let people know that I'm here. So this is Abel here and I am doing the empathic communications for about half an hour today. And if you are watching, if you could please give me a hello or anything like that, that would be really appreciated. But I know that you will drizzle in and come and join me. So thank you so much for watching. Now, last Tuesday, I was talking about how to become a better presenter for the first half of the chat and then empathic communications on the second chat. So this time I want to start fresh because I wanted to, I have learned from last week and I wanted to improve on it from this week. So today I'm going to start talking about how to grow your EQ or your emotional well-being through the way that you're talking to yourself, mainly how you're talking to yourself. And then I will drizzle in to talk about how you can improve your presence on the video. So once again, if you guys are joining me here, please send me a hello or a chat or a wave, anything like that. That would be great. And let me introduce myself. So I'm Abel Wanamakog. I am a professional presenter, a past news anchor, and also now I am doing holistic communications coaching where I help people to communicate better with themselves for a better mental well-being, as well as how to communicate with others as well to grow your influence and your presence, whether it's on video or online. So this is actually Songkran Day. It's Thai New Year. It's April 14th. And I do not expect to be indoors for Songkran. And I think the word expect is what is leading me into a certain doom, I would say. Because don't we expect all the time? And when we expect, what kind of tense is that? It's future tense, right? So I expect to be outside playing water or probably have traveled elsewhere from the past. And what do I expect? Something that is happening in the future, right? So I am using my past and my future to create my present moment. And when you expect something, you're almost always not going to receive the same results as you had in the past. And of course, we never know what future is going to be like, right? So we can never expect how our future is going to be. So that is almost like a certain disappointment, right? And this is related to how we're communicating with ourselves and our choice of words, because I always expect before. Like I said to you, we all come from different cultures, different backgrounds, and how we were raised and how the society conditions us to think affects our well-being, affects how well and how happy we are in our lives. And I was always disappointed because I was always thinking in the past or in the future, and I never really appreciated the now because I was never taught to focus on the now. Of course, I created my future by doing something now. Of course, that's what allowed me to have a relatively successful life and career externally. But as I continued to chase things outside, I was not too happy with myself. So I expected to be outside playing water, and I'm sitting inside in my house in the village. And it's dead quiet, like really, really quiet. Nobody's even going outside. And I think my son was the only ones that were playing water outside for a little bit. So you should think about the word choices that you're using to help you to balance or control your well-being. And trust me, I'm still improving on that, because it's about some emotional control and awareness of your thoughts. And this is like a continuous thing. That's why, what I'm learning in Thailand is that they tell you to stay present, because if your present moment is great, your future moment will be great too. And this is from the famous monk from Vietnam, Thich Nhat Hanh, who said that. And this is another enlightening thought that he reminded me of. And that is, if you have a great present moment, you will have a great future. So you don't actually need to worry about the future. So once again, to those of you who have just joined, hello, thank you. Hi, Steve, how are you? And to the parents community on Head Start, if you could send me a chat or hi, just let me know that you're here with me. Thank you so much for watching. And thanks for giving me something to do, I have to say. Thank you so much to Guy, because I actually have to get very creative in trying to do something that is productive and not just let my mind control me. And let me ask you today, this is what I asked in my webinar the other day. How are you? How are you? I'm good. I'm pretty good. Hold on, I just got somebody. Some people are a little bit lost. I am on if you're on Instagram watching me, I'm on the Find Your Voice page. I'm not in the MC Abo Namakok page, because my MC Abo Namakok page is presenting, and I'm doing coaching related work. So I wanted to shift it over to my Find Your Voice Asia page. So sorry to deviate from what I was talking about, but I wanted to ask you, how are you doing today? I had a few friends ask me today, my best friend and a good friend who asked me that. So thank you so much for asking me, how am I doing today? To be honest, I woke up and I don't feel that great. I feel agitated. I feel, what is the word? I don't feel at ease. I guess that's the word. I don't feel at ease, and I don't feel that great. And this reminded me of a friend, a Japanese friend from school, who asked me one day. She just obviously she knew that I was the vocal type, and I don't always hide my feelings so well. And I know from studying in 1 year in Japan that the culture in Japan is very disciplined, okay? And as a woman, you are supposed to be obedient. And that kind of restricts a lot of things in freedom of speech, which is a bit opposite from US culture, because US culture, they promote freedom of speech, they promote the development of individualism, and they want you to just speak out and say whatever you want. So my friend, this Japanese lady from Head Start, and I'm not going to say her name, she asked me, she said, Abel, when somebody asks me, how am I feeling, and I don't feel good, what should I say? I said, just tell them how you feel. If you don't feel good, just say, I don't feel good. And you can tell them, I don't want to affect your emotions because I'm not having a good day. So we don't have to have a long chat. Maybe, I don't want to affect you with my negativity, so we can just stop having the chat here and, I go about my way. Because that's, in a way, because I don't like to hide my feelings so much. I don't like to pretend to be happy when I'm not. So that I usually just go and be alone. And that's what I said to her. And she was looking at me like, oh, I'm supposed to just tell people that I don't feel good? And I said, yeah, it's okay. I mean, how unnatural would it be for you to always be feeling good? That's not natural at all, because we're not We're not saints, we're not angels, we're not living in our spirit. We're living in this body, and this body confines us to feel. We have this mind that makes us think, and then the mind creates the feelings in our body, so we're forced to feel things within our environment. So she was quite surprised that I asked her and told her to just feel and just tell people, I don't feel great. Because I know that in Thailand and in Japan, you are supposed to hide your feelings more, especially as a woman, and to show people, I'm so happy all the time. I'm feeling great all the time. And I don't. I'm telling you right now, I don't feel great. But I am trying to get myself to feel better through being present in this moment, having you join me in this moment, which is thank you. Thank you so much, because I need help. I need energy from other people to make me feel a little bit good too, because I cannot always be present in my mind. So because of the struggle that I had this morning, I was really asking myself, okay, how are you talking to yourself today? Like, how are you talking to yourself right now? Are you like self-pitying? Are you telling yourself, oh, I shouldn't feel this. I should feel happy. I should feel great. I should be wonderful. No, not necessarily. So what do? After this, I'm going to do yoga, because what I realize about my body, and this is something that you need to learn about your body as well, or you need to consult somebody who can help you, such as Steve or Craig or Hayden, people who can help you. What I realize is I'm somebody who has a high level of energy. I have a lot of energy, and maybe that is why I can be a really good presenter on stage, because I release my energy out. And after that, I feel more calm and I feel more cool. And because I know that I have excess energy, I have too much energy, I need to release it some way. And to release it is to exercise for me. I like to go for yoga in the morning, and then I also do walks in the afternoon, like 5 or 6. And that's how I balance my hormones and my energy, so that I will continue to keep this positive balance for my mind, to stay positive. So one thing I wanted to ask you, if you're still here, is, hello, somebody new that joined. Have you asked a friend or your child or your partner, how are you doing today? This is one task that I would like you to do today. And that is to give some positivity to somebody else while you are giving positive energy back to yourself. Because what you give out, you receive. And that is the cycle of life. That is a universal law. So ask somebody deeply, like with real care, how are you doing today? And not just expecting to hear good, and then you can wait for your turn to say something. Ask somebody deeply and have the intention to listen deeply to what they are going to say back to you. And you'll probably learn something from them as well. So this morning I told myself to have a bit more self-compassion. I'm trying to give myself empathy for feeling what I'm feeling, which is a sense of agitation. Even though I slept super good last night, I slept really, really well. And that's why I don't understand. And our minds, it seemed our mind is always trying to figure things out. It is always trying to find an answer to something. Like what I grew up with in the US, the American culture is always trying to, solve the problem, figure it out. Why are you feeling what you're feeling? Analyze everything to like too much. And sometimes when you analyze too much, you just keep this agitation in your mind. And what my friend told me today is, just feel it, just accept it, just accept whatever feeling that you have, be aware of that feeling, and let it pass. Just let it pass through you. And don't hold on so tight and tell yourself to, why did I feel like this? Because sometimes that's what I tend to do. And maybe because you're confined to your home, or maybe just to within a small area because you're not allowed to go out. maybe our minds play tricks on us and try to gain that control over us. So this is what I'm telling you about my struggle for today, and I hope that maybe you can relate to that as well, because we all have those days. Now, how many of you have seen the water experiments from Dr. Masaru Emoto? Anybody? Can you guys send me a text, a message? Oh my gosh, 15 minutes has already passed. So how many of you had seen the movie, What the Bleep Do We Know? Now, in the movie, What the Bleep Do We Know, which is about spirituality and it's about physics, one of the sections in that movie is talking about Dr. Masaru Emoto's water experiment, where he actually observed water crystals. So he would actually put a word, for example, he would put thank you on a piece of paper written down. He would tape it to the water bottle or wherever that he holds water. Okay, he would tape it to it and he would let it sit overnight. And the next day he would freeze those water and then he would observe the water crystals in a very strong microscope. Excuse me. And I can't show you because I cannot share a screen. There's limited abilities with Instagram and with Facebook for live videos. Perhaps I can do a Zoom chat next time with those of you who have questions. But this is something that I really suggest you to watch on YouTube. You can always find the whole movie, What the Bleep Do We Know, on YouTube, or you can find just the segment where Dr. Masaru Emoto is doing his water experiment. So he had put thank you, he had put love and appreciation, and then he had put you make me sick, I want to kill you. And when he frees the water crystals from all these different, he did so many different experiments with water. And after freezing them, he saw the beauty of thank you, the water crystal of thank you. And he saw how beautiful and symmetrical the water crystal of love and appreciation was. And then when he saw the water crystal of you make me sick, I want to kill you, there was no symmetry to the water crystal at all. And it actually looked really, really terrible. And I'll share that in my Instagram page on Find Your Voice later, on my Facebook page as well, Find Your Voice Asia. And I'll show you and remind you that our bodies are made of more than 70% of water. And if we have these thoughts of, like for me, I had agitation, I had, negative thoughts, instead of having love and appreciation in our thoughts, what are we doing to our bodies and ourselves within us? Because whenever I have negative thoughts, I feel a heaviness on my shoulders. I feel not at ease, right? So I don't feel light, I don't feel happy. I'm just kind of like, feeling like, not feeling that good. And if you are more aware of your body, which I have developed more of the awareness of my body through doing yoga, I understand when I'm feeling bad. And I always try to adjust my emotions so that I can feel better about myself. And the reason why I decided to lead with this is because I feel that many people nowadays, because of being confined, is feeling less happy or less joyful or less at peace with themselves than normal. And I can associate with that feeling, and that's why I wanted to share that, and I wanted to talk about that instead of talking about presenting and things like that. And I think you can learn how to do presenting as well from observing me. I think I use my hands a lot as well in my, and I'm quite animated, more than normal in my presenting. So if a thought comes to you, that bothers you, you have to try to calm your mind, really. This is very, very hard. This is something that takes many lifetimes, I think, to learn. You have to observe and you have to feel it. You have to accept the feeling that comes through you, whether it is a good feeling or a bad feeling. And I know it's harder to accept the feelings when you are feeling bad. You can't just reject it because it will always come back to you. And so what you need to do is you need to get into a state of mind where you are not thinking and you are actually just observing, where you are actually feeling what you're feeling. And whether you're feeling agitated, sad, depressed, angry, whatever negativity that you have to feel it, and you have to accept it, and use your breath to help you. To obviously, you breathe in healing energy, and you breathe out negative energy. You breathe out your anxiety, and you breathe out the negativity. And if you want to breathe it out hard, if you're very, very anxious, you breathe it out with your mouth open. So breathe out with your mouth open will allow the anxiety to get out even more. So you have to stay present in that moment with your feeling without labeling it, without, labeling it like I'm feeling bad, or, don't label it. Stop your mind and feel that energy within you. Because I had this very, very great moments of surrender that I had experienced back in March 2019, where I was trying to let go of my resentment towards the feeling of being a prisoner, of all the heaviness that I have taken with me from a young age until now, all the responsibility that I had. And I got to that point because I felt this heaviness, so much heaviness of carrying all the responsibility and letting my mind control me, because I allowed all this negativity of feeling like I'm a prisoner to stay in my head for years, decades. And because I was asking a lot of questions about why I felt like this, why I feel like this, I decided that I don't want to feel like that anymore. I decided I did not want to carry that heaviness anymore on my shoulders, within me, in my mind. And I read books from Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, which is, a changing, an ever-changing book for me. This is a book that I will always recommend to everybody, The Power of Now, of this moment. This is the only moment that you have where you have power to let go of your past. And I have many, many things that I struggle with in life, and I still suffer from things that I create in my life. But I did learn that in that moment, in that one moment, and that one day back in March of 2019, where I was feeling this intense anger once again towards my parents, towards people that I had resentment that I have kept in my heart for a long time. And I felt it. I felt the anger inside me so much. I felt the anger and I felt it going through me. And as I was feeling that moment, I told myself, okay, Abel, don't label it. Feel it. I was so angry. I was so angry. I could even feel it, that I had this surge of energy within me. And I remember from The Power of Now, he said to just feel it. And I had my eyes closed, so that's why I'm closing my eyes now. I had my eyes closed, and I was feeling this surge of negativity going through my body again. And I felt it, and I feel it going through me. Whether it's up to down, or whether it's, from back to front, it doesn't matter. It's just a feeling of energy that you have. And with a deep breath, with one breath, and I felt this breath going out, and I felt a pain in my nose that I had to breathe out very slowly. And I had pain through my nose when I was feeling this. I actually had, and I didn't realize this at the moment, I realized that I had let go of decades of resentment towards certain people in my life, that because with the wrong way of thinking, I had held it inside of me for so long. I had let it go, and I only realized how powerful that moment was. It was called surrender. It was called surrender because it was reminding me that I did not need to feel and hold on to negative feelings. I did not need to hold on to these thoughts because I have chosen not to hold on to them. At that moment, I chose not to hold on to it because I was actually aware with my higher self. I was aware of this negativity that I had at that moment in time that I did not want to keep inside of me anymore. So I was actually my higher self with an awareness, observing this surge of negativity and feeling and resentment that I had inside my body. And with the help of my breath that I learned from reading and from my friend, to breathe it out. And that was after 2 days, 2 days after this moment, I felt this sense of peace that I had never felt before. Like a calmness, still water, like a still water. I never felt this before. I never felt this. And Eckhart in his book, The Power of Now, explained that if you really surrendered, that's how you would feel. You would feel a sense of peace and a sense of calmness. And that is what is called true surrender. And I'm not saying that I surrender in every aspect of my life. I only surrendered in releasing that resentment, that thought that I have kept inside of me of feeling like a prisoner. Only that one, because I continue to create new thoughts that is not helpful for my mental well-being. I continue to develop things, and that is what I think that is what life is about, is that we are always learning, we are always experiencing through our bodies, our three-dimensional body that force us to feel and it forces us to think about how we're feeling so that we can connect our mind to our body and then also to a higher consciousness. And it forces us to learn in this dimension on this earth so that we can learn in a different way. Because what I understand is that when you're a spirit, your life is spirit is what you're supposed to feel. That is where you're supposed to be. This is a harder life. This is harder for us because this is a natural state. We are in a state where we are feeling unnatural to be human. That is an unnatural state. And when we go home, when we leave our bodies, we go home, we are in our natural state and we learn much quicker. We are much more at peace and everything is just flowing very, very easily. And oh my goodness, it's already 28 minutes past. As I have always been, I always over prep, and now I have these sticky tabs on my notebook as well. I always over prep and I always do not have time to share all the things that I wanted to share. And I just wanted to maybe end it with this, and that is, whatever that you're going through, see it only as a lesson that you're learning, as if you're in a school. So Earth is the school, and you're one of the students, and you're going through different grade levels. If you have a really, really harsh and tough life, maybe you're in high school, or maybe you're even in college or in grad school. People who live with deformities, who are born with abnormal bodies, I think those are the people who are more, advanced in where they are in the school. And if you are more violent, you are more naughty, you do more things without thinking, maybe you're in, grade, 1, 2, you're in primary school. And this is what I always remind myself to ease my thoughts. And that is, I'm just at the school temporarily, and I'm in this body temporarily that allows me to fulfill whatever that I'm supposed to fulfill in this life, with this body. And eventually this body will go away. Okay. So I don't even own my body. I don't even own my thoughts. I'm not the situations that happen to me. And I have to remind myself this all the time, because sometimes I get so caught up in my thoughts that I feel that I am my body and I am my thoughts, and I'm not. I have to remind myself this as well. And that is a way for me to keep a balance, a more balanced and positive emotional well-being. So whatever you're going through, see it only as a lesson to be learned. And if you're not learning one time, it will keep coming back. It will keep coming back to you. So you will have to experience same situations that will come back to teach you. Okay, don't think of it as a negative thing like, oh, it's karma and I'm dealing with this crap that's happening to my life. It's just coming back to teach you. And that's all I wanted to end with today. Whatever that you're going through, try to just observe it as a thought and be aware of it. And, focus on something positive that you like to do. So I'm going to go to do yoga now after this. And whatever that you're going to, whatever that you're experiencing in your life right now, whether it's positive or negative, try to be aware of it, observe it. And if you're going through positive things, enjoy it. Spend time with your loved ones, because this situation is not going to stay here forever. You're not going to be feeling stuck forever. So remind yourself this, and I'm reminding myself this as well. And thank you so much for watching, and happy Songkran to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me if you're still there. And I hope that I can save this video so that you can watch it later. I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel, Find Your Voice Asia, so you can watch it again later. Thank you so much. สุขสันต์วันสงกรานต์นะคะ Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.